That brings it to your second point here. If you're not already married, make a wise choice, which I think all of our parents would recommend to us, right? I'm sure is a recommendation you give your daughter, right?
Oh,
Make a
yes.
wise choice, right? Don't settle. Discuss key issues, including kids, core values, goals, and how everyday life is going to work. That is, I grant you, a very good thing to do. It would be humorous if I was to have had this conversation with my wife 15 years ago to decide what everyday life would be like. I think it'd be amazing if I had that conversation, recorded it, and played it back today. Obviously, it changes drastically, but it doesn't mean it's a bad idea to iron it out as your best guess. 15 years ago, our everyday life is much more chaotic than I would have expected 15 years ago, but that's how it goes, right? I mean, we're making the best guess we can.
Yeah, you are. You know, you can look at things like the person's family, how they were raised. That's typically probably where they're going to end up. You know, you don't have unrealistic expectations, because that's what I'm going to talk about throughout my little part here. Is you can't look at someone and say, oh well, he's going to change, or gosh, this whole world is going to be so much better once we get married. It's not. You have core values that you have the expectation of a certain thing, and the other person has an expectation of something. I have a couple right now that he wants to travel and enjoy life and not have any responsibilities, and she wants to, have children and all of these obligations, and those core values, those very fundamental things weren't discussed before they got married. And these are older people that probably should have talked about these things in advance. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? I know it sounds so corny. You always hear it in a job interview, right? But really, well, I want to be a multi-billionaire, and I'm going to work 90 hours a week to do that. And the other person's looking like, well, that's not what I want. I want to live a humble life, So these are really core things that if you talk about them before you even get married, it's almost like when you go on a dating website, you put in your particulars. Well, do that, even though you're not going on a dating website necessarily, but do that and just say, well, what is it you're expecting? Where do you want to be? Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself being the one working 80 hours a week, or I want to work part-time? I don't care about all these material things. I don't care about wealth accumulation. I just want to sit and eat bonbons and watch TV every night. So those are things, we see so much, and I'm looking at Moriel, she probably sees couples too, and we look at them and we go, how did you guys ever get married? How were you ever married? Who thought this was a good decision to take these two people who are so different and get married and think that this is going to work down the road?